Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to part 47 of Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, and we are done with the 100 Acre Wood. We are not going back in this playthrough, thank goodness. Anyway, let's have a little chat with Merlin right here, and he's actually going to give you a Keyblade. Well, that is when you get all the spells, that is. Every single spell that you can, that is. And no, I'm not going to practice some magic because, well, I'm pretty much good at magic right now, you see. I don't need any practice, you see. Because, yeah. Now, of course, I realized as soon as I reached the 3rd district that I have a summon gem that I need to essentially free. So, yeah. I probably should have jump cut it back to, well, when I meet the fairy godmother, but, I don't know. Why am I showing this again? Padding, I guess, but, of course, you gotta understand my thought process at that moment. I was like, oh, wait, I got a summon gem from that, from the 100 Acre Wood. I probably should get it free, you know. And screw you, moving stones, I can glide. Love gliding. Not as fun as flying, but, what can you do? What can you do? Back into that magician study. Let's go talk to the fairy godmother. Free this, where are you? There. There you go. So why the pumpkin carriage? I mean, I know the pumpkin carriage was used to help Cinderella, you know, for the ball thing, but, I guess they decided to use it because it's the most recognizable thing from Cinderella, you know? Well, associated with the fairy godmother. Well, besides the the glass slippers. Ugh, I'm getting my things confused. Anyway, we just freed Bambi. That's right, Bambi is a summon gem. And I'll show off good old Bambi much later on. He's not, well, he can be useful for some things, but for the immediate future, nope. So yeah, we're moving on. Anyway, this video right here is just going to be me prepping to go to Hollow Bastion and to tie up a few loose ends for the moment, at least. So, yeah. Let's go up. Let's see here. Let's go visit Donald's nephews. I mean, why not, you see? You know, the thing is, though, with these nephews right here is they're making a lot of money off of a good old Uncle Donald, you know? And, but you know, back in the old cartoons, you know, I think especially their first appearance, they would definitely take advantage and screw around with their Uncle Donald. And, yeah. I think they do that. They did it every now and then in the 90s cartoons like Quack Pack, you know? Especially when they're teenagers, I believe. So, yeah. And, you would think that they would give Uncle Donald a discount, you know, a hero's discount, because, you know, Uncle Donald, you know, family. But then, of course, you know, DuckTales, they've hung around with their Uncle Scrooge. So, they probably learned a thing or two about business from, you know, Scrooge McDuck. So, yeah. Anyway, there's something I forgot to get while I was at Geppetto's house the first time, and there's something I will forget, when I come back to this place later on. Anyway, there's the keychain wishing star, which you can get as soon as, well, you could have gotten it as soon as you visited Geppetto's house for the first time, but what can you do? Alright, folks, I'm going to show it off right here, right now, the Synthesis Shop. Yeah, run by Moogles, a Final Fantasy species, you know, and yeah. Now, to be honest, I'm not that familiar with Final Fantasy. I do know it because of, well, I've played a few games. I played 6, I played 7, and I played 10 and 10-2, and that's pretty much it, folks. I'm not that big of an RPG guy, but I do know that the Moogle appeared in Final Fantasy VI, and yeah. Anyway, I pretty much should explain the synthesis sort of thing. Essentially, all those little pieces that you get from enemies, you know, like frost gems, etc. you can take them here, combine them to make items, and yeah, you can get some accessories, some potions, a cottage, and if you're if you're into synthesis, then it'd be to your best benefit to go attack Heartless, collect those little pieces, and come here to synthesize. And synthesizing is pretty much the only way you can to get the, well, Ultimo weapon. So, well, for Sora at least. So, yeah. I'm not gonna go for it because it's gonna take too long. I mean, some of the synthesis require me to track down those rare Heartless that I've shown off earlier, and well, it could take a while, folks. It could take a while, but I don't want to spend too much time on this playthrough that I already have, you know. And here's me just going through all the, well, Keyblades that I could choose from, you know, Fairy Heart, Wishing Star, Spellbinder, Metal Chocobo that I've gotten from good old Cloud, and but ultimately, I'm going to use this guy right here, Olympia. While I may lose 1 point of MP, you know, the strength that I get from it, it's incredible. It's pretty much the strongest Keyblade I can use at this point. So, yeah. See, look at that, Olympia. And if you, sharp-eyed viewers will notice that the words Hercules are actually etched on the side of this thing. So, was this belonging to Hercules? Well, of course it might belong to Hercules. I mean, whatever. Anyway, I'm just prepping up because, well, Hall of Bastion's gonna be a crazy world that we're going to. I mean, of course, it's pretty much the headquarters of the League of Disney Villains, or what's left of them. I mean, all we have left is Maleficent, and Hades is off doing his own thing back in Olympus Coliseum, and we're going to deal with him in time. So let's talk to Sid to install the good old gummy piece, and yeah. So how's he going to do that? I always wonder how he does it, but anyway, we got cutscene.
Sora! Now, just remember what Donald said to you. No frowning, no sad faces.
How can you be so cheerful? There's still no sign of your king. Aren't you worried?
Worried.
The king told us to go out and find the key bearer, and we found you, so as long as we stick together, it'll all work out okay. You just gotta believe in yourself, that's all.
Just believe.
I believe in you.
Remember, Sora, if you believe, you can do anything, like fly. Although, you're not flying in the other worlds except, Neverland, but, oh well. And fly. Fly towards the light, Sora. Yes. So, would that be classified as Warp 7 or 8? I'm just curious. Anyway, trippy dream sequence. And hello. Folks, if you're wondering who this lady is, this is actually Kyrie's grandmother right here. Yes. And as you can tell, she is actually telling good old little Kyrie a little story. A legend about, darkness and the light and people's hearts and all that sort of thing. This will actually come up again in a future, or should I say, it'll come up in another game down the line, release-wise at least. So yeah, the history of all the worlds and lights and all that sort of thing. And yeah. So why would Sora, of all people, have this kind of vision right here? You have to wonder why. In fact, this is actually kind of a big clue to the whereabouts of good old Kyrie's heart. I'm sure that pretty genre-savvy people would figure this out by now, but I'm not going to say anything until, a few parts down the line, okay? Yeah. And of course, this location is looks. Memorize this location, folks. Just memorize it because it's going to come up later on. Boy, Kyrie, why is she? Yeah, why is she so freaking cute? It takes like diabetes. All right, so that was a trippy dream sequence. Very trippy. It's like, blah. It's almost like Kyrie wanted Sora to see all this stuff for some reason.
Huh?
What's the matter?
Nothing. Kyrie? Did you call me?
Well, enough of that weirdness. Let's get back to the plot. Old Sid has finished installing that navigational gummy, which means we can proceed onward to Hollow Bastion. And, yeah. That place is crawling with Heartless. Of course, it's Heartless headquarters for the League of Disney Villains. I said that earlier. But it bears repeating because, yeah. I mean, Maleficent is there waiting for us. Good old Riku's there. Kyrie's body's there. I mean, it's all coming to a head, folks. And, yeah. But first we have to actually get there, you see. Of course, I'm just checking my inventory to make sure that I'm all set, you know. Yeah, I'm still debating on whether or not to use certain things, you know. But of course, for some reason, I decided to switch back to Fairy Harp for some reason. Don't worry, folks. I'll go back to Olympia later on, I promise. So, yeah. You know, I could just go, or... Yeah, I'm deciding whether or not to leave via the front door or save point, but... Yeah, why not the front door? I mean, it leads to the same place, the gummy ship. But, yeah. Alright, let's head on to a new world, blah, 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 blah. Oh, no, we don't know what's out there. Well, there's only one way to find out. Come on. Why don't we revisit other worlds first and find some new items? Good advice, Goofy. Actually, that is some good advice, Goofy. I should revisit some old worlds to find new things. But there's still one thing I need before we actually start revisiting these old worlds. And we'll actually get that in Hollow Bastion. So, yeah, so let's move forward in order to move back, you see. Anyway, let's warp to Neverland right here, and from Neverland we can actually, make our way through to Hollow Bastion, you know. Now, something I've noticed in this playthrough, and I can't believe I didn't notice it before, maybe it's because the difference between actually playing the game and actually, watching playthroughs of a game, the models of the characters, there are definitely two different models of a character, you see. Like, take Sora, for example. There are certain cutscenes that had Sora's facial expression more animated, as it were, more lively. And then there are these character models that are essentially the in-game models with, they're talking like blah, 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 like their mouths are like flap, 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 flapping. It's like, I didn't notice that before. It's because, again, difference between actually watching and playing, you know? You're playing, you're trying to essentially kill enemies. I mean, when you're killing enemies, you don't worry about what the models look like, you know? And, yeah. I'll talk more about that, later on. In the meantime, we have another gummy ship section. And the music is more intense, you know, because essentially we're approaching endgame. Well, not yet, but we're getting close to endgame, you see, because yeah, we're going to essentially where Maleficent's hanging out, where Riku is, and we're off to save Kyrie and hopefully stop the Heartless threat that is destroying all the worlds here. So yeah. And it's also the location of the remaining Princesses of Heart, you see. You know, let's see here. There's, let's see, we have Jasmine's there, Alice is there, even though it's weird that she's classified as a princess. Well, at least in this game, it's like, you would think another princess would be worthy enough, so yeah. Now, spoilers, other characters, Snow White, Aurora, and Cinderella are there, and Belle... Oh, did I say that out loud? Belle is there as well. Although, if you remember back in part 1 where Sora was going through all those stained glass pillar things, that's actually kind of a clue back in part 1. You see all those sleeping princesses, you know? That's, I think that's the game's way of telling us, there's, these ladies, well, they're asleep somewhere, so, yeah. And of course, the one with the 3 hearts there, those are the ones that were technically still free at the time. Although, not anymore. I mean, I believe 6 of them have been captured. There's still 1 left, and yeah. So here we are, folks, Hollow Bastion, and we will start exploring this place in part 48.